Hi, maker friends. This is Brandon Zunin from the Swarthmore Makerspace, coming to you from North Idaho, where I am making a forge slash kiln with my illustrious assistant Sarah. So what we have here is basically just 8 fire bricks, which cost us about $1.50 a piece at the local hardware store. These are what you use to line the inside of wood-burning stoves and things like that. People also use them in regular kilns and some blacksmithing forges. They're cheaper and easier to come by than soft fire bricks, and they're much more durable than soft fire bricks, but they're not quite as good at holding heat. But they're perfect for our purposes, where we want to make a cheap, simple, fast forge slash kiln. So come on over a little closer and we'll show you what we got here. So this is a series of 1, 2, 3 pipe sections and just a elbow joint that I put a MIG tip. MIG is a type of welding device. It has a little tip that sends out an electrode that's also the filler rod through it. But it's basically just a little piece of metal that has a little hole in it that can withstand high temperature. And that's screwed into this elbow joint here. That gives us basically a nice propane jet. And I have that connected to a standard adjustable range high pressure regulator that goes to 35 psi, I believe 30 psi, as opposed to just 5, I think, or 3 on like a standard grill regulator. And then this is a regular old 20-pound propane cylinder. So I can show you this real quick here. If we turn this on, you can probably hear the propane start to flow. And we have here, I can just turn this and slide this back and forth across the section here where I have a few holes. And this kind of acts as the carburetor where I can mix the amount of propane and air that's coming into our jet here. It's called a Venturi design, where just the flow of propane down this pipe sucks in the air through these holes so it can actually burn. And I'm just using a little sparker here from Potato Cannon to light it, like so. And the cool thing about this design is it requires no electricity, and you can get a really huge flame. A lot of heat. And you can also get a very small little flame. So, perfect for our purposes, where you have enough heat to do some elementary blacksmithing, but enough control that hopefully we can actually use this as a kiln to fire some clay. Slump glass, sinter precious metals, including PMC3 silver clay. So we have these bricks, and Sarah came up with a clever design here of, we have 3 bricks here on the floor, right? And you can see this little groove in here where we can just drop in our burner. And then with the rest of the bricks, we can kind of just make some walls around here. Super simple. Like so. This will be our roof in a minute. And then if we carefully place this in here, and we can kind of lock it into place. with this last wall here. Now these bricks are much easier to work with than soft fire bricks. If you were doing this with soft fire bricks, they'd be kind of crumbling all over the place. Like so. And then we have our roof. And what we can do now is light this again in here. Like so. And you can see we have the flames kind of curling around both sides of the actual outflow, which is great. It means we're getting circulation around this little volume. And now this is a good configuration for doing some glass slumping or to fire some clay in this section over here. And if we wanted to instead use this as a metal forge, we could just turn this wall on its side, put the lid back on, and now we can slip our metal working in and out of here to heat it up and then work it on our anvil or whatever we're doing. We can even also open the back wall here to be able to slip a piece all the way through if we're working on something long. So that's the basic heating unit. Now the next thing I want to show you is how we can control this sufficiently well so as to be able to actually fire something that needs to have a very specific heating and cooling ramping period and cycle. So I have here just a regular Arduino Uno that I've put into this little box to protect it from dust and things. And then simple Type K thermocouple. And you can just go online onto like Arduino help or whatever and get a very, very simple, intuitive little piece of code to just run a thermocouple. And what we can do is just pop the thermocouple in there, fire up our laptop, and we can see exactly what the temperature is doing in there and do a nice ramp cycle. I hope this gives you guys a bit of an idea of what you can maybe be doing at home or elsewhere, something fun to do. Hopefully we'll come back at you with some more videos soon of some things we're able to make with this. And before we go here, why don't you just take a little peek inside at how this is heating up now after just a few minutes. Let's see, we're starting to get a nice glow in there. Well, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. Stay well, be safe, keep on making. That's all from us. Take care.